who would like to give us a summary of what went down for some inspiration?
I'm sitting at 3. Anybody? Go for it.
My notes are not helpful enough, and I did not listen back. So
Would
Oh,
we
no.
would we like to do this as a group? Just try
Like
and
Katie just said, right?
I can't. I believe.
go
Oh
for
God.
it.
Let's see how bad my notes are from last time. Okay, so yes, this would have been on the second. No? Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. So we all ran out to the street because there was like a big ass explosion noise and we were like, what the fuck just happened? And found that yeah, it looked like some explosion happened in the middle of the street and there were some hurt people and some dead people. Kaz went over to a barrel and there was a I don't know what this is actually called, a fireball necklace of fireball in it that a kid pointed out to them and they
Okay,
grabbed that.
hold up. I know Corsonis is young, but he's not a kid.
The kid was just hiding behind the barrel.
Yeah, the kid was like, there was a plop noise, so yeah, know that. And Kaz was like, yeah, sure. Okay, so Corsona's Detective Magic was like, there's some shit in there. Kaz, and Kaz was like, word. And we kind of poked around, and then the guards were like, go home and wait to be questioned, and so we did. Except for Exidia, who was in spider form, I believe. And was watching to see if there was some shady shit going on.
He saw another spider and the two of them were just pointing at each other the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Hell yeah. And then when we went back in, there was a dude sitting at the bar, and he had a freaky southern drawl, and he called Lydia, and we were like, oh shit! And it was Jarlaxle, and he knew everybody's names already, and was not involved in whatever happened outside, and expressed interest in the Stone of Galore, but more specifically wanted something to take down the field around Waterdeep for political reasons. And he also said something about like he was the debt owner for Nim's shit and was like, whatever, you're good. And that was freaky. And he was like, yeah, be on my side, help me out, bye, and left, and was all freaky and shit. And then the guards came around to question us, and we were like, yeah, we don't know. We just kind of went out there and there was an explosion. That's what y'all know. We don't really know shit. And they were like, cool, and left. And Exidia came back and we filled her in on the Jarlaxle situation. Kaz showed us the necklace from the barrel. And we realized it would kind of probably look bad if we like were like, hey guards, we found this, and they'd be like, well, how did you have that? And so we were like, yeah, we'll hold on to that for now. And then Victor Trench showed up with a dude who was like super freaked out, and he said that he saw a puppet without strings that hurled a fireball into the crowd and ran off. And we were like, oh shit, and realized that that sounded like the dancing thing that Nim danced with at the Castellantiers. My pen died so many times trying to write these notes, and so it's so hard to read. So we headed to the Temple of Craftsmen, the House of Inspired Hands, and they had a what are they called? I don't remember the actual name. Someone help me out. Yes, they had a Nimberite, and it was like kind of shy and it seemed like they were really mean to it. And it made another Nimblewright that went missing a while ago, and so we think that one might be the one that was involved in the blowing up thing. And the Nimble people took all the Nimblewright stuff out of its room, and that was super sad, and then gave us a sending stone in case we found anything out, and we left and went to talk to Neverember again, and be a little more intimidating maybe, and first of all had to find him, so we went and found Volo, and he was kind of reluctant to tell us where he was because we seemed a little pissed off, a little angry. But eventually we convinced him, and he led us back to Rainier's room in the yawning portal, and we explained our deal and that we were just tired and sick of getting almost killed and just needed him to be honest with us, and he was. And said, I'm so shaky here in my notes, someone might have to help me out, but that one of Rainier's father's spies, a gnome dude, was
Dalakar.
going to deliver the Stone of Galore or something so that we could take it to Mr. Neverember. I don't remember the whole deal with that. Yeah. And he was like super sorry for keeping us in the dark and that it took him so long to tell us, but we were like, whatever, we're gonna figure out about that gnomes deal.
The gnome was one
That's
of
all I
the
have.
victims of the fireball. That's what we remembered.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He had disappeared 2 weeks ago, and then it was he probably died in the explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should say we think he's one of the victims.
Yeah.
Yeah, awfully inconvenient if he wasn't.
Yeah, and just to be perfectly clear, Rainier explained that this was an individual that was loyal to his father, and Rainier suspects that he both had the stone and, upon hearing that you all had rescued Rainier, assumed that you were also loyal to his father, and so was coming to deliver the stone to you. And that is all Rainier's speculation. On top of that, his reasoning for not sharing any of this information is because he felt that anyone who knew it was going to be in greater danger, and he didn't want to do that to anyone, certainly not those of you that had rescued him. But seeing as how this is not only continuing but seems to be escalating, he has changed his mind about sharing what he knows and suspects with you. Let me ask, what was the decision at the end of the conversation with Rainier as to what y'all were going to do next? Does anybody recall?
I believe we were on our way to talk to the guards who have the gnome's body. We were trying to confirm whether or not that was...
Mm-hmm.
I wrote his name down. Dalakar.
Dalakar.
Yeah, I wrote it down. Okay.
Yeah, it's let me put that into chat for you. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. It's sort of late in the afternoon at this point. You've had a pretty busy day from the explosion and Jarlaxle and being questioned, and then a brief visit to the Castellantier Villa, then to the House of Inspired Hands, now at the Yawning Portal, and now you're headed to the headquarters of the City Watch. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
All right,
So, yeah.
fantastic. You arrive there, and the individual at the front desk says, "Please state your business."
Yes, we are here to speak to a detective. What was his name? He came to see us earlier today at the Haunt. That's our place, right? It's the Haunt. Yes.
I didn't get his name, I don't think.
He definitely told us. I've just simply.
Yeah, there's been a lot of other things that happened.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's been a busy day. Busy day.
Cromley.
Oh, well,
Yes.
Thank you, Adam.
Sergeant Cromley's very busy, ongoing investigation and whatnot. Can I leave him a message?
Yes, please. Tell him that Corsonis of Force Grey, we spoke earlier this morning, would like to speak to him at his earliest convenience about a bit of information from his investigation.
Oh, you have information about the investigation.
What? No, I would like to ask him some questions about his investigation.
You want to ask him questions about the investigation?
Correct. Yes.
Wait, who are all you people?
I am Corsonis of Force Grey, and I produce my badge.
Oh, for
I
fuck's sake.
would like to speak to Saith Cromley about a conversation we had earlier.
Sure thing. I'll let him know right away. He
Yes,
goes back to whatever he was working on.
I'll be honest, everyone. I don't expect he's actually going to do it.
I think you might be onto something there.
Well, in the meantime,
I want to be upfront about this. I'm a little foggy. Let me make sure I understood what just happened correctly. You went into the City Watch, or the group went into City Watch, and Corsonis just asked this guy to get Sergeant Cromley because you have questions to ask Cromley about his investigation.
correct. Yes.
Okay. Then yes, this is exactly what has just happened.
Yep. That
Yeah.
makes perfect sense.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's actual questions we can ask, but I don't know that. Like, the only other thing we can really do is like inquire about Dalakar, like as a personal residence, but they're not gonna like give us that information, so that's not gonna help.
Yeah, to be honest, this seems mad shady. They were like, yeah, so how's the investigation going there, guys? You ever find out who bombed this place? You gotta get any closer?
I mean, it happened right outside our house, so.
Yeah, but like, we're also the same people that have the smoking gun to this case.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah, I hope they didn't hear that.
Oh, no, I was just saying this out of character.
Right. Well, we should go elsewhere and discuss this, I think, a little bit more. Right. Yeah, that's probably a good plan, right? Back to the Haunt?
I suppose. Just don't know where. What?
Why don't we at least step outside for a moment? I mean, I don't know how much we want to. I'm happy to pass on certain information to the inspector, but I don't want to do that without checking with everyone first, since we are all a part of this.
Fair enough. Now,
I will step outside.
yeah.
Mm.
Barring speaking to the investigators, we don't really have a. The only thing we really have is that a fellow who's now dead,
Mhm.
who I certainly have no means of communicating with, but perhaps a local priest might, was interested possibly in bringing us the very artifact that we have been accused many times recently of having. And that body is where now?
Presumably with the city guard who have spoken of their interest in speaking to the dead. I am curious. Well, I am thinking that perhaps if we were to offer up that we might know the name of this individual, that perhaps Inspector Cromley might be willing to let us sit in on the questioning.
That's better than nothing, I think. We certainly can't try to intercept any divinations. We would be lucky to be allowed any information about them, I think.
Yes, I mean, the only other thing I could see would be trying to, and before I even say this, I will say that I recognize the nature of what I am saying here. I am not actually suggesting it. The only other way would be to break into City Guard headquarters and question him myself. But that's not a good idea. I'm not even sure if it's something we can do. It's a good way for most of you to end up in jail.
It's truly about the best thing we can do is try to stay on the City Guard's good side for as
Exactly.
long as possible, so that we can maybe influence some of the decision making or questioning. But the one fellow who knows that we know anything at all is either here and incredibly not going to be inconvenienced, or isn't here because he is working. We could just go and bother that fellow at the front again.
Mm.
I mean, I think it might be worth letting on that we know that we might know who one of the deceased is, and that might be worth something in trade. I'll be honest, this is. Look, I have no animosity towards the city guards or anything, but this is sort of thing that Forrest Gray would deal with. This does seem, fireballs and great conspiracies and multiple crime syndicates. It does sort of seem a little above their pay grade.
But who's the
City
guard? Oh,
Yes.
fair enough. But wouldn't Forrest Gray be contract? It's possible that they're not even being offered the opportunity yet, as it's still the same day. But I think we would have more resources with them than we do
Well,
with the City Guard.
I'm right here, and I can sort of
That's what I'm saying.
take
Or
it
the
upon
resource I'm
myself.
talking about.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I can sort of take it upon myself to solve this particular incident. I'm sure that will be fine with Force Gray.
Well, by all means. Adam, what time did you say it was?
We'll say it's about somewhere between 4 and 5.
Okay. We could head over to their offices now and try to get ahead of it. There is a chance that if a city guard is being asked to offer this investigation as contract, the sooner we get to Foursquare to let them know we're interested, the sooner or the more likely we are to actually get it. I say contract loosely. I don't actually know how any of it works, I think. It just sort of makes sense this way.
Yeah, I just found out he wasn't a cop today, so it's really getting to me.
Hey, but I have told you that repeatedly.
That's what a cop would say, It's,
Personas pauses for a moment.
To be fair,
Okay, fair. That's a fair point. But
in the acid den we were in, there was that fellow who was very straightforward about the fact he was a cop. So maybe it's actually illegal to say that you're not.
oh my god, what's the
Wait,
code?
like
Legal.
in game, did it just come up in game that, dude, if you're a cop, you got to tell me?
That's the joke I'm making. Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
We pop our heads in to ask them. Hey, do you happen to know?
Special question. Oh my god.
so if we are all agreed, I will go back inside. I will offer our information to the inspector. I will hope that such an offer would increase the likelihood of his allowing us to tag along, as it were. Are we all agreed? I won't do this if we if there's any disagreement. I as much as I am as not proud, but as willing to use my connection to Foursquare as I am, I don't wish to what is the word I'm looking for? Implicate the rest. No, that's what I have no authority other than the authority to fix problems. I will abuse said authority as much as necessary to fix problems. That's what we do. No, I mean that I would not wish to implicate any of you, since there is a certain stigma attached to Foursquare that we are cops, and I would not wish for any of you to fall under such an inglorious stain, as it were.
I'm down, man. I just thought y'all was like cops for a while. I didn't know y'all was like, fucking bounty hunters or whatever. Private eye.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
How often
All
do
right.
you think adventurers just kind of walk in here and spew nonsense at that fella, and that's why he's not interested in talking with us? I'm just saying, you got
Probably
this.
too many.
I'm gonna give you bardic inspiration.
Oh, great. Right. And I will go back inside.
God,
Well-
fucking useless.
I will
Wonderful.
remind everyone that I have no training in any social skills. I'm a farm boy.
Even better.
You're the one who brought it up, and you now have bardic inspiration. You're as
Hell
skilled
yeah.
as they come.
You're the authority to fix problems. Let's
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. The Good Samaritans are back. Can I help you?
All right, here we go. Corsonis will slam the badge on the table. Now you listen here. I didn't want to have to do this, but it seems as though I will have to tip my hat to you since you are the city guard with whom we at Forest Grey obviously have so many issues. Please tell the Inspector Cromley, whatever, who cares, your city guard, that I have information for his case that I was hoping to pass along under the guise of asking him questions, but instead a very, very helpful individual at the front desk has convinced me that I should be upfront and honest with the city guard of Waterdeep. And I will pick up the badge and I will turn away and walk it out.
So now you have information about the case.
That's what I said as I'm leaving.
You're like out the door. I mean, it's not like we came in here in the first place for no reason. We have actually some important pieces of witness evidence that we would like to discuss with the appropriate investigator as quickly as possible.
Very well. Wait right here. And this half-elf hops off of his stool and opens a little, one of those sort of spring-loaded, like half doors, right? And just sort of walks out of his little bullpen area, disappears down a hallway, and it's probably about 10 minutes before he comes back and yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna make it. Of course, it's fine. Of course, I was gonna ask. Was it over the top? Did I do too much?
I give you a wolf whistle.
In about it's about 10 minutes, maybe a little less, where he returns, and right behind him are Saith Cromley and Barnabas Blastwind, the two individuals who questioned you this morning. And
how could I forget that fantastic fucking name, Barnabas Blastwind?
That's a pretty good fucking name. Saith says, I understand you've got information for me.
Force Grey?
Perhaps we could speak somewhere in private.
Oh, certainly. I just want to confirm that you got information for me concerning the investigation now.
Yes, well, we didn't know it when we spoke. Force Grey is doing its own investigation into a large explosion outside the home of one of its newest recruits, and so we did a little snooping around of our own. And in the spirit of cooperation with the city guard, since you expressed so clearly this morning the animosity between the two groups, I thought it would be worthwhile to show that we are doing our best to mend fences, as it were.
Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence. By all means. And he steps
you're
out
the
of the way
asshole. Let me speak to the other one.
and gestures down the hallway. Barnabas looks at Saith and looks at you, and looks at Saith and looks at you. And he just shrugs and gestures down the hallway, same as Saith.
I'll go down the hallway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell
Just so
yeah.
I'm clear, is it everybody or is anybody hanging back and just waiting in the public area?
Shit, I'm hanging in the public area.
You're just kicking it, Gaz?
I don't know. Like, I'm not hanging with the cops like that, man.
Yeah, choice is yours. Exidia?
If Kaz is gonna hang back, I'll stay back with him.
Okay. Cool beans. Okay, so Nim and Piety and Corsonis. God, I almost fucked myself up and called you Parody. You follow Saith and Barnabas, and they lead you down sort of a labyrinth of halls into a room that clearly an office. Clearly, it made pretty clear once you're in there. Saith sits behind the one desk that's in the office, and Barnabas just posts up in a corner. Saith is like, "Okay, Force Gray. Let me know now what you didn't know this morning."
The Corsonis will look pleadingly at everyone that is here with him very briefly. No, I'm still okay. We believe we have the name of one of your victims, and we believe that we may know why. We believe we may know the not quite identity, but the perpetrator of the attack. We may know what it was.
Okay,
Your gnomish
so,
victim. Have you identified him yet?
So let me get this straight. You think you know the name of at least one of the victims,
Yes.
and you may know the perpetrator.
Let's not be too hasty on that last one, but
No, I believe we do. We were able to get the account from our good friend and neighbor, and then we went and investigated that lead, and we got some more information about where it came from. So actually, we actually learned quite a bit about what happened today. We'd be very happy to share.
Wonderful. Start sharing.
first, if you would answer my question, have you identified the gnomish gentleman that was killed this morning? God, I keep slipping into Arium. I gotta separate those two. It's a simple question.
If the answer is no, we have a suggestion.
We know who the gnome is.
All right, and are you familiar with his employer?
We haven't had a chance for the clerics to show up yet, so no.
I'm going to look at the other two to kind of verify that we're okay talking about all of it.
Thumbs up.
Yes.
Well, Dalakar, the gnomish victim, was a servant of Dagult Neverember and maintained his employment after Neverember fled. This was finding himself no longer within Waterdeep, and had actually been since the incident with Rainier Neverember looking for some folks with which to place a specific item of popular rumor currently amongst some of the gang factions of the city. And as he was trying to deliver said artifact, a Nimblewright that had been the construct of another Nimblewright within the House of Inspired Hands was apparently either tasked or found it within its own invention to impede him by any means necessary, including explosive devices. This was all something we were able to verify with Valenta, one of the priests within the House of Inspired Hands, and the employment of Dalakar was verified by Rainier Neverember himself.
So, this gnome Dalakar had a stone.
I didn't say that, but if you either found that item or knew of it by my implication, then we are on the same page, I think.
So, you all are telling me that that crazy rumor is true?
We actually didn't believe it until today when we encountered the existence of Dakar.
Hmm.
Although, as Rainier's rescuers, it has been our dreaded misfortune to be the target of ire and pressure from many members of both the Xanathar's Guild and the Zentarum trying to acquire this artifact, as it happened to be crossing in our street this morning.
Wait, I'm confused. You were under pressure from the Zentarum and Xanathar's Guild this morning?
No, for like the past 2 weeks,
Ever since
Hmm.
we've rescued Rainier, yes.
it's been the supposition of both factions that we have been gifted the stone as a reward for our good deeds.
Yes. Also, there's other parties who are interested, but they have thus far been considerably less antagonistic. Those two are the ones who have made, at the very least, veiled threats,
I lift my shirt to show a stab wound.
and not so veiled.
Okay. First things first.
Oh dear.
If you are the victim of a crime, you need to report it to the City Watch as soon as possible. Getting stabbed by a member of either the Zentarum or Xanathar's Guild, and then waiting potentially weeks to inform a sergeant of the City Watch that a crime has been committed is not an effective way to begin an investigation.
Oh, you're absolutely right. But if you'll actually speak with Captain Staggett, that fucker was actually there at one of the first occurrences of us being stabbed, and he said if we were ever caught implicated with any of these relations ever again, we would be arrested.
Well, Captain Staggett can speak with a lot of bluster. However, if this information that you've given me checks out, and the rumors are true, and I can do something to affect bring about the end of the search for this stone, well, I suspect there might be a big promotion in my future, which means maybe what Captain Staggett says isn't all that important. So, why don't you all write down everyone who's expressed interest in getting this stone for you? And also, the name of the individual you spoke with at the Inspired Hands?
Is that him asking for the name again, or asking me to
yeah.
write it down?
Yeah,
Valenta.
yeah. Okay. And everyone that's expressed interest in you acquiring this stone for them. Names, please.
Sure.
I mean, I don't have individual names of all the members of Xanathars that we've run into, if that's what you're asking me for.
How about the names you do have?
I only know his face, and I'll minor illusion the mind flayer again.
Ugh.
I will write down Xanathar and definitely spell it wrong.
Underline it 3
like
times.
Okay. Saith jumps when you minor illusion the mind flayer. Interestingly enough, Barnabas does not. Right? Barnabas is just hanging out in the corner watching all of this go down. So the names that you are, the names you're giving him are a minor illusion of a mind flayer and Xanathar, spelled incorrectly.
I will also write down Zentarum and Jarlaxle.
Oh, you're putting down Jarlaxle. Ooh.
Fuck that guy.
Oh,
Fuck that guy. I
Finally
hate that guy.
watches you put that down and looks at Nim and just kind of says under her breath, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? What's it gonna do? Shoot me again? And then looks really nervous.
Yeah, like Nim and Piety make eye contact, and they're making the same expression.
Saith looks at this piece of paper.
We've written a bunch of letters. Is what we've done.
Right. Well, the only two names that are on here, right? There's Zentarum, right, which is just the guild name, right? Or the faction name, right? Xanathar spelled incorrectly and Jarlaxle. Right.
Hell yeah.
I believe that is all of the specifically interested parties. I don't think the Castellanteers did not put that heat on us.
Yeah,
right?
As far as I know, they've never asked us for it.
Yeah.
They've explicitly asked you for it.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh boy. Okay.
I thought they were just being nobility.
No. No, I mean, they during your quote unquote dinner party before the attack, they were like, "Look, rumors about this stone turn out to be true. You get us the stone, we'll forget about the $10,000 of debt."
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They sure did.
Hey, I'm debt free.
Yeah. I'm good to put the names down. Like, what are they gonna? If they get arrested, that's gone. If they don't get arrested, who cares?
We
so-
could tell them. We could tell the watch right now that we were attacked at the Castellantier estate. The Castellantiers helped us, but they did acknowledge the existence of the stone. Do we want to make that stipulation?
Yeah. I mean,
Make it sound a little bit less like they were asking and more like we are reporting an incident that affected us directly, even though they don't want us
being
to
on
do
this
that.
list is definitely not a huge. Who would not want a stone that's going to lead you to hundreds of thousands of gold pieces?
You're completely
This is the
correct.
D&D Waterdeep equivalent of the old man that writes a poem about where he stashed his
Oh yeah.
his,
under
his
a
finances.
big W.
Yeah.
I just don't want I think like as we're kind of putting this list together, I want to be as gracious as we can with them, because Jarlaxle's got friends, but we we don't know that as well. We know the Castlentiers have friends, and if they get arrested, we can still get fucked up.
True.
So I think as kindly as we can, just say like the Castlentiers know about it because when we were at their estate, we were attacked by Zentarum and Xanathar and guild members, and we were honest with them.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, the list includes the Zentarum, Xanathar, and the Castlentiers, and Jarlaxle.
Hell yeah.
It sure does.
Okay.
Oh,
We're just gonna put the who's who of Waterdeep on
Well,
this list.
Right. Well,
let's get the open lord while we're on that.
Right. I mean, you have nailed exactly where this is going. Saith looks at this list and takes a deep sigh and says, "Oh, okay. I appreciate that you have confirmed the name of this gnome, which we already knew. I further appreciate that you have come in saying that we are looking for something called the Nimble Right, that Valenta at the House of Inspired Hands will be able to give us more information about. But this list, are you sure you don't want to write Manshoon's name on this? Maybe Tiamat's name on this? Like any other legendary villains, right, that we can add? Or perhaps we can just go through all the nobility of Waterdeep and add them to the list.
I don't know what to tell you.
These are the only ones that have come either to our house or had us come to them under threat of force, asking specifically.
We are speaking about the
this.
potentiality of hundreds of thousands of gold dragons.
Mhm.
For the record, at the very least, Jarlaxle was not interested in the money. I could certainly put Neverember's name down there, as he would like the gold found to clear his own name. There are many people who are interested in this thing. I mean, like you said, it's a legend. It is.
Mm-hmm.
I realize the list is not very useful, and I wish I could narrow it down to simply the names of people who were within the possibility of actually doing something about. I don't mean to say that horribly, or imply anything negative about the City Watch. I realize that these are very, very big fish of Waterdeep, but we are talking about a fabled treasure of this city.
And to that point, you did ask. You asked.
I was trying to be diplomatic about it, but you did ask. Yes, Nim is right.
Saith's face begins to get red.
Now look, before you start shouting, we are here in the spirit of cooperation. We are trying our best, but we are definitely caught in the middle of something which, and I will tap the piece of paper, you acknowledge is way above a small group of now tavern owners. Oh, that reminds me, we could probably put Volo's name on the list. He's at least not a villain, if that helps.
Yeah, but he sort of falls under. He's sort of in like Rainier in that category.
He does sort of seem like a villain from our standpoint at this point, but
that's true. He's sort of the reason we're in all of this shit.
Not intentionally, I don't believe, but.
What do you fucking hope not?
Saith continues to seethe, and Barnabas, for the first time, moves from the corner towards the desk and walks around to the front of the desk, puts his right hand like behind him, sort of on the desk, but also as sort of a gesture to Saith to just calm down, relax. And Barnabas, just as he's approaching, says, well, if you were foolish enough to trust Volo, who knows what that loudmouth might get you wrapped up in. Now, you came here to share information with us. You've shared that information. It's getting late. Thank you. Do you need somebody to see out?
Nope.
Well, we were hoping that with this shared information, the city guard might be willing to return the favor. We would like to, if possible, sit in on the when the priest speaks to the gnome. If this is not Dalakar, then Dalakar.
Yeah, you got it.
If this is not Dalakar, then frankly, all of our problems all of your problems, at the very least, and he taps the list again, those are resolved. Our problems, on the other hand, would simply be just beginning. Well, continuing. The same problems would definitely be there. If it is Dalakar, then perhaps we can have a further conversation once that is confirmed.
Well, Barnabas says, thank you for sharing with us what your desire is and your ultimate reason for sharing information with us at all. We will take your request under consideration and be in touch. Do you need someone to show you out?
Nope, I think we know where the door is.
He opens the door to Saith's office and stands in the hallway.
Yeah, go to leave.
Oh,
I can only say that we tried. I say to Cromley and Blackwind.
If Barnabas is going like into the hall to like hold the door open, I'm going to like try to catch him.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I mean, he's in the hall and Saith is at his desk, so there's not a ton of space right now between the two of them, but
yeah. Listen, I understand that this is a lot that is all fine for you and for everyone else on your staff. But there have been threats to our lives and families, and any little bit that we might be able to get, any information that we can have to keep them or ourselves safe, really means everything.
Barnabas starts walking with you down the hall you don't know why he's doing it, right? But one of the effects of it is that he is creating a little distance between yourselves and Saith's office and Saith.
Okay, I'll walk in step
Okay.
with him.
says, you know, I like y'all. And as I said this morning, as far as I knew, you were business people who owned a tavern in an alley where there was an explosion. And yeah, maybe you were more famous than most because you had done a good deed. But at the time, there was no reason to suspect that any of you were involved in anything. Now, I don't want to suspect that you all are somehow involved. But when I asked this morning, you didn't volunteer any of this information. And now it turns out that you all have been being threatened for 2 weeks by some of the most nefarious and some of the wealthiest characters in all of Waterdeep. And that it is tied up with the explosion that happened in the alley. And the thing that connects those two is that good deed that you had done previously. Well, as I said, I don't want any of you to be suspects. But until further notice, you should tell your friends, and this goes for yourself too, don't leave Waterdeep.
I'd
I'm
like
sorry.
to be incredibly clear that the information we gave you today was what we learned today. And these threats, as I said, were unreported because attempts to report in the past had gone poorly. We are not leaving Waterdeep because that's a threat to us and our families, no matter what. But we're trying. We did not even know that the stone was real until today when we had the opportunity to speak to Rainier Neverember about it. We thought we were being hunted for a rumor.
Look, I am sincere when I tell the three of you that I hope you're telling me the truth. I want to believe you. And I want to believe that you had nothing to do with this. But I also know that I asked you this morning if you had any information that might help. And telling me that Jarlaxle and Xanathar and the Zentarum and the Castellantiers, right, all might have motive would have been help, even if they don't. But telling me they might have, that they've threatened you.
With all due respect, the city guard has not been able to do anything about any of those individuals thus far. And telling you would have only made things worse for us, for as far as I can see. Now, granted, I am not a Waterdeep local, so perhaps I'm missing something. It would have done virtually nothing except make our situation worse for ourselves. So, as you have admitted, this is a list of the who's who of this huge metropolitan city. a list of individuals who I'm sure have been on your radar more than once. A list of individuals who have all the power in this city and all of the ability to crush us should they so desire. They just murdered lots of people right outside our establishment. Someone did. We have no idea, as far as I'm aware. And either of you who is with me, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, who actually paid or instructed the Nimblewright, right? We know that there was one. We don't know who had anything to actually control it, right? Am I forgetting something?
Nope, hadn't gotten that far. We've only been at this one day.
Yeah. So, yes, could we have told you this morning? Sure. Yes, we could have told you. Should we have told you this morning? Probably. Yes, you're right. We probably should have. Can you at least understand why we wouldn't? Why we might be worried when the lives of my friends, one has already been taken, and he gestures over at Piety.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention this in there because y'all seem pissed, but like Jarlaxle has killed me once before.
So the lack of assistance that we have gotten from the city guard at this point, and the general unwillingness to now work with us, and instead, as you say, be at risk of suspecting us, well, I can see now again why Force Grey does not waste time here. And I will turn and I will leave.
For anybody that is staying, right, and I don't know that anyone is, but Barnabas does like a triple take, right? Looking at you as you're speaking, Corsonis, and then Piety's speaking, and then he looks back at you, but then looks at Piety again, once, twice, a third time, and just shakes his head and sort of mumbles. I mean, you all can hear it, but it's really just to himself. He's like, I'm not even going to address that. I'm not. As you're walking away, Corsonis, he says, loud enough for you to hear, maybe you don't recall, but I don't work for the City Watch. And then to whomever is still standing next to him, he just says, but you may want to ask yourselves if you really trust the City Watch that little and think they're that incompetent, what are you even doing here in the first place? And he turns around and starts walking back to Sayeth's office.
I'll look at Nim.
I shout
went
back,
well.
we're trying to talk to the gnome!
Okay. While this has been going on, Exidia and Kaz, anything in the waiting area? Or just kicking it?
Just kick it, man. I don't want to be here. Got me looking like a fucking Cavron. But
I'm sorry, Tyler. I think you said something, but I might have missed it.
I just said 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
Nice. Very nice.
oh,
All right. Well, yeah, with that, you see Corsonis coming out of the labyrinth of the back of the City Watch. And, probably about 90 seconds later, you see Nim and Piety.
Well, how'd things go?
We're leaving.
All right.
Mm.
All right, where to, team?
So like, yeah, or like what happened to like here?
Nothing good, unfortunately.
Okay.
Take it they're not
Well,
gonna let us listen in on the interrogation.
Not unless you come on to a change of heart overnight. Made it pretty clear that's the only thing we came here for. And to be nice and offer them information that they weren't able to get in a single day. Hello, I know the streets. I give my a high five. I hold up my hand for a high five.
high five. Yeah, gotcha. Well, pretty unreliable. I'm gonna be honest. So
It was the only way we were going to be able to speak to Delacar. If that was something,
There
it would
is
have given us something. But
one other thing I can try. It is definitely a long shot. It is somewhat of a Hail Mary. I will pull out my badge.
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay.
I will activate the sing portion of it.
yes,
And
yes,
I would
yes,
say-
yes, yes.
This is Junior Investigator Corsonis. That's 5. Please tell the Black Staff I have information regarding the 500,000 missing dragons. It's an emergency. There we go, 25.
Oh
Hell yeah!
my god!
Artfully, skillfully done.
It's an emergency being able to fit on the end there. Mwah.
I know that this goes to like a Janine. This is going to a secretary, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
I have faith in Janine. Janine can get us there.
I like how it was like default Janine was the secretary.
Janine is the secretary.
Yeah, this is a very
always.
long running joke.
Right.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll be clear. I have very little faith that this will actually work.
Are we outside?
Yeah.
You hear almost immediately a response. Hold on. And that's it.
Oh boy.
We got put on hold.
We got put on
I
hold.
fucking hate it here.
We got put on hold, but they could have just not answered the phone. So
And about love it. About 5 minutes later, you hear it's a different voice, but one you don't recognize. Someone just say, "There's someone waiting for you already at the haunt. Where the fuck are you?"
It's
On our
plot
way.
twist.
We need to go. We need to go now. We need to go right now.
taxi.
Also, by the way, can I look around to see if I feel like anybody's like spying on us?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
I just, we just said that outside. I don't. I'm afraid.
Yeah,
So
make me a perception check.
Also, I know
gotcha.
I have city secrets, so we cross town in halftime. But is there
Mhm.
any amount of money I can pay a carriage rider to get us there stupid fast?
We're gonna get a speeding ticket in Waterdeep.
No, that will not be acceptable. We cannot be pulled over, but just reckless abandon.
Okay. Nim, first for you. You can, given your city secrets, you flag a couple people down, right? And as opposed to just saying, hey, what's the fastest you could get us to Troll Skull Alley, right? You know better, and you ask, tell me the fastest route you would take to get to Troll Skull Alley, right? And the first two people you flag down, like they tell you, and you're immediately like, dude, we can walk there faster than that, and you just bail on that process. Meanwhile, Kaz, with a 20, you recognize two things. One, no one's listening in to what you're saying or to the content of your conversation. You do clock one individual who is paying pretty close attention, but she's paying close attention because she wants to see how much attention you all are paying to each other, right? In hopes that it's a lot so she can try and pick somebody's pocket. But
Oh.
she clocks you, clocking her, and she fucks off right quick.
I'm the fucking. I'm the pickpocket spotter. This is the second one. But yeah, okay, that's good. I'm not gonna snitch on her. You go fucking do your thing, man.
Okay, so you're just heading out to the haunt, is that correct?
Back to the haunt. Yeah.
Okay.
For real this
Let
time.
me- I thought I had done a better job setting this up, but apparently not. So we are just gonna roll with what we've got here. Well, that's not so bad. I'm missing one person. Okay. Nim leads you ducking through alleys and skinny little passages that don't even qualify as alleys between buildings, and you're there pretty quickly. And as you approach, you see 6 individuals that are 2, 3, yeah. Well, initially you see like 2 individuals. You see what is clearly Vincent Trench sitting on your front porch smoking his weird ass pipe.
Ding.
Right. And you see Brisket.
Wow.
Just sort of nervously coming in and out of the haunt, Brisket clocks you guys coming down the alley, right? And darts back in and then brings out with him Who does he bring out with him? He brings out Fella Lefalier, Mert, Asper, and Walaya Dinnerin. Your mom, Nem.
Oh fuck. Oh no.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
She's back?
You see a quickly flaring light in Nim suddenly wither.
See a light bloom in the cast.
Right. And at seeing you, she she's not running off of the porch, but it's a pretty brisk walk. It just straight up to you and just grabs you by the shoulders and it's like, is everything okay? And sort of spins you around like, what? Why haven't I heard from you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Mama. We were really, 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 really busy trying to figure out who tried to blow up our house.
Well, so busy that you couldn't contact your mother. Let me worry all
I'm
day.
sorry. I was gonna send someone over tonight. I'm lying.
Make me a deception check. You know what? This is your mother. Make me a deception check at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Disadvantage. Oh fuck.
She replies, okay, well, let's just make sure that it doesn't happen again. No one else can probably tell this, but Nim, you know, just by the tone of her voice, she absolutely knows you just lied to her.
I visibly gulp.
She is disappointed in you. She's not mad, just disappointed.
I'm sure she's happier that I'm not dead. And I will take that.
Yeah. As you approach, Vincent just says, hey, looks like you got a lot of company, boss.
I love it. I fucking love it.
I was told that a representative was here waiting for us. Which of you? All of you?
Mert looks at Asper, his wife, and rolls his eyes, right, and walks inside. And Asper puts her arm around your shoulder, right? And it's like, Corsonis, not terribly bright, are you? Let's go inside and have a conversation.
I'm very bright. How? It's just unexpected. I also
Top of his
don't.
class in Lork.
Do you not recall the conversation we had at your opening party about Ott Steeltoes? The Order of the Goldfish?
Yes.
Xanathar's
yes.
Guild?
Yes. I just didn't know how many of the others I meant. I mean, you spoke into my mind. That is a skill that is not especially common. I assume you have, but I mean, Brisket is a university student. I didn't know. Well, I suppose Nim, you were also a university student. I should not judge. We don't have a university in Lork, so.
No. I work very closely with Force Grey. Motir is my husband. Has no official affiliation, but when you're as close as we are, official affiliation isn't really necessary. Vincent I know by reputation and know he'll find out what he wants to find out, so I have no problem speaking in front of him. That one seems to be an idiot, and she's pointing at Brisket, so I have no problem speaking in front of him.
How dare you?
And she gets a little closer, right? And she's not exactly whispering, but the tone is a little more hushed, right? And she sort of points with her elbow, like the arm she has around your shoulder. You can feel it sort of lift off your back a little bit, and she's pointing a little bit like behind you and to your right with her elbow. And as you turn your head, you can gauge that she's pointing at Walaya. She's pointing at Nim's mom.
Yep.
And Asper's just like, and truth be told, I find her a little intimidating, so.
She was the one I wasn't sure about. I mean, she
I'd rather
broke
just
into
be
our
upfront.
house with no one waking up. I figured she had to have. She had to be an adventurer. I mean,
Well, perhaps with skills like that, perhaps I should try and recruit her. So, what's this about knowing the location of 500,000 dragons?
oh boy. Kaz, could you prepare a lot of drinks? Also coffee. Actually, you know what? Let Leaf do it, as shaky as it is. I think it's best if all of us are here to describe what has transpired recently. I would hate to miss details. You know what? Why don't we do the drinks first, then the details?
Yeah.
Leaf is a good cleaner, but he's very unsteady with the drinks.
Oh, I know. I seen it before. It's very fucking crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I was mostly telling them, but yes.
I'm gonna make a.
Kaz, Walaya is right on your heels and following you behind the bar.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm here to help. Let me know what I can do.
Oh, okay. What time is it? Middle afternoon?
We're probably talking, 5:30, 6 o'clock at this point.
This is like, I feel like just a nice cold ale would help everybody. I feel like this is the time for that. Nothing special. Nothing. Just ales.
Okay. Go for it.
Sorry,
Wait.
I was telling Max that I would like a bottle of wine. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
We're taking wine.
Yeah. Walaya's cleaning mugs out, handing them just holding them out to the open air. And Leaf grabs them from her and brings them over to you so that you can fill them up and put them out on the bar. Everybody gets a beer, and Asper says, "Thank you. Now, what's this about 500,000 dragons?" Meanwhile, Brisket is making the rounds, just giving everybody giant bear hugs and lifting people off the ground as he does.
I love him.
Well,
I was worried about you people. I heard there was a big explosion. Good to see the place is still standing and everybody's looking good. Don't worry me like that. He goes
good
he
to
goes
see
to
you.
bear he goes to bear hug Mert, and Mert is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, sorry, I got carried away."
What the fuck is going? What the fuck is up with brisket, everybody? I don't know. I love it.
Well, I suppose it all started when we were recruited by Volo to rescue Lord Neverember, and then I will just, with constant checks with everybody, run down the whole adventure, the whole campaign thus far.
Okay.
We found
Recap.
we found a lair with a mind flayer, and there was we rescued Lord Neverember, and we were approached. I got stabbed in the leg while the operative from. Well, I told you about Ott already. Stabbed me in the leg while delivering a threat. It was very uncomfortable. And then Fireball, and then speaking to the town guard, who are as unhelpful as one might expect. And I suppose that brings us to today. Or to
And
now.
you were there, and you were there, and you were there. Okay. She takes a deep breath and says, "Okay, how much of this did you share with the city guard?"
A lot of it, although not as many of the details.
Well, turns out maybe not that much, since Barnabas did say he's City Watch.
He's not, but Cromley is, and Cromley was there.
She pinches the bridge of her nose, and Mert just starts laughing, right? And he downs the rest of his drink and is like, "Look, Corsonis, I know you're relatively new here, but you can't trust the City Watch to do anything important or to discover unravel any of the big secrets of Waterdeep. They're here to keep the order, and that's all.
That's
The less
true,
they know,
but
the
we
less
were
they know
trying
about things like
more.
this, the better." What's that, Nim?
Oh, sorry. We had not told them pretty much anything until today, so that we could possibly speak with whatever remains of Dalakar. But that didn't work out either. Was sort of our prior to the call, the only other thing we could think of doing to maybe get us more information.
You want to speak to the dead bodies?
Correct. We were under the impression that the victims were being questioned by the city guard with the aid of the priests.
Oh, I mean, they will be. And you also want to question them? Do you want to be present for the City Watchers questioning, or do you want to question them alone?
Can we do both? I don't know much about this sort of magic.
Or both might be difficult, but one or the other, certainly. You would have to... Can any of you speak with the dead?
Piety, how you doing?
Wow, just because I died one time. I get it. No, that's fine. No, I can't. I mean, not to my knowledge. I don't think.
I mean, that's hardly a hurdle. Hard to throw a rock in this city without being able to find a temple of some sort. You can certainly hire a cleric. You just need access. If that's what you'd prefer, we can pull some strings. Otherwise, we can exert some pressure on the City Watch and make sure that you're around while they do their questioning. Choice is yours.
Part of me
Uh,
really wants to do this on our own because Cromley was so awful.
I think if we also did it by ourselves, we are dictating the entirety of the Inquisition rather than trying to parse together questions that will also answer the Watch's questions. We already know who it is we're speaking to. We don't need to verify that.
Well, we don't, do we? We
I'm
don't
pretty sure
I
we
mean,
know.
That does feel right, yes. Yes, if we could get a hold of that, that would be ideal.
Okay, let me. This is Mert. Let me see what I can do. And please, consider this City Watch on a need-to-know basis. Barnabas, on the other hand, is a good man, but he's working as a consultant with the City Watch, so you need to be judicious with what and when you share information with him.
Who does he actually work for then?
Barnabas is a
He's
rather
not-
high-ranking member of the Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors.
Huh.
He consults with the City Watch when there's issues that they believe have, considerable magic components.
Now that you say that, I do remember Cromley saying that when they interrogated us yesterday. Wait, that was this morning. God, what
Yes.
is it?
Brisket is like, oh, you all have had such a long day, and goes and starts doing the bear hugs again.
Thank you. I needed that. Oh,
I don't want to. Why is he here? I'm not. I just meant, how did he get invited here? I just don't understand. Or was he just here on his own?
No, are you saying this out loud?
I think
No,
he said
I am
he
asking.
he came to check on us when he heard there was an explosion.
Oh, okay, yeah, he just showed up on his own. Got it.
Yeah, he's just
Got
being
it.
a good friend.
Okay. Asper once again says, okay, working backwards. Now, this Nimblewright. You believe it threw this bead from the necklace of fireballs?
Correct.
Sounds pretty important that you find it.
The necklace or the Nimblewright?
No, the Nimblewright. If I remember
Okay.
correctly, you've said that Kaz already has the necklace.
Yeah, that's a very good thing for us to also make clear that since we are technically suspected, I guess, if they find that on us, we're so fucked.
Also, Exidia, I believe, has the necklace, given that
Yeah, I've
she
got
was
it
the one willing to be
away.
cursed.
Oh. My apologies. Kaz found it.
Correct.
Exidia was the one willing to take the risk. Well, I can certainly hold on to it if you're worried about being found with it.
I'm not worried about being found with it.
Wonderful. Yeah, and you've told the City Watch about this Nimblewright.
Yes.
So they're going to be looking for it, at the very least, concurrently to you all looking for it. Is that accurate?
Correct. Yes.
Well, we better figure out a way for you to find it first. Do you have any strategies?
do a better job than them at looking for it.
That is such a good point.
Well, you did mention
It-
that Valenta said that she would be in touch and the House of Inspired Hands might be able to craft something to help you find it. Which she
Yes,
did, which is why I'm
she did.
adding it in there.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Well, do you think they're still going to be interested and or able to provide you with that item after the City Watch questions them?
We could have one of us camp out there, I think, maybe. One of us who doesn't sleep as much. Just sort of wait for it to be done and just make sure it's given to the people it was promised to.
From the corner of the bar over here, you just hear, boss. And you look over and Vincent's just holding the end of his pipe up in the air.
Ivans?
Need something found, boss?
That we do. I'm just grinning.
He takes a deep inhale on his pipe and then makes two sort of popping sounds with his mouth in rapid succession. And what you see is first one sort of wide diameter smoke ring, and then immediately followed by a smaller diameter smoke ring that, you know, is moving a little faster, so it catches up with the first one, and it, when they join, it looks like an eyeball. And he just says, Vincent Trench, Tiger's Eye, Private Eye.
I fucking love this neighborhood.
Find anything for a price, boss.
I'm gonna hand over 5 platinum.
Y'all know as soon as I will. Meanwhile, Brisket has started pacing nervously, and Mert is like, wait, can you describe this Nimblewright again?
Yes, it was. And I will use minor illusion to play an audio of what Jessamine said to us. A plank for a face, metal arms, tapestries for
Okay.
clothing.
Great. He listens out. He's like, well, I'll be damned. Sounds like he's describing the construct we have working the coat check at the Light Singer Opera House. Huh.
Get out of fucking town.
Brisket is now doubled over with his hands on his knees, and he's breathing deeply.
Hey, Briss, buddy, you all right?
Oh, yeah. It's nothing real. I mean, I guess, well, Look, it's not really that big a deal, but I might have a couple of those things over at the library myself.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what? I
Don't
tend
putting
to
books.
not understand you.
Oh, I might have a couple of those things over at the library.
They've not exploded anything, have they?
No, they put books away so that I
Okay, I
can
think
read and eat my sandwiches.
we're okay then.
Oh God, thank God.
all right, Briss, buddy. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. You're all right.
Well, I love you guys. Another round of bear hugs.
He's so sweaty.
He is, in fact, very sweaty.
I'm his biggest fan.
I'm obsessed.
At this point, Walaya's like, young man, get over here. Sit down. Chew your food like a normal individual. And this is the first time you heard me say, yes, ma'am. Okay. So,
So you have Bart, potentially the nimble right that killed some people earlier today.
who are you talking to?
Mert. Right? Because he said it was the one from the opera house. Or it sounds exactly
Well, he
like
said
the one from the opera
right.
house.
It sounds like the exact thing he's got in the opera house, but he's like, I can't imagine it. Like he just sits there. When I mean, literally, he sits in the coat check room all day, every day, and then when there's a performance, he takes coats and gives coats back to people, and then he just sits there. I mean,
Well,
like, I don't know for a fact that he was in there, but I don't understand how he would have gotten out.
Valletta was able to talk to and understand her nimble right. Are you able to do the same?
I mean, a little bit.
I think we should go and find out. The specificity of you being able to identify it by appearance lends me to believe either it was a very incredibly good imposter or someone else got a hold of your construct.
It is worth remembering this construct was created by one of the other ones, so it may be visibly different than the rest of the constructed ones. The ones made by non-construct hands, I mean.
Well, and at this point, Brisket chimes in. He's like, yeah, and Nim, not for nothing, buddy, but sounds sort of like you were describing my two friends too.
The one that we saw at the temple was not
Mhm.
clothed the same, though, right?
They've all been clothed similarly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. The one that was the most different was the Castellantiers, because they had clearly dressed it up, for
Okay.
dinner parties and for, balls that they might have at their home. But that was clearly something that they either had done or did themselves. So the clothing portion of it, although different than, a humanoid's clothing, it's not exactly integral to the functioning of the nimble right. So it could clearly be changed as seen fit by the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Or for that matter, the nimble right, if it's so inclined and instructed. So, and this is Asper again. We've got a directive that going forward, City Watch is on a need-to-know basis. Mert, you are going to look into getting our cohorts here access to the bodies and providing a diversion so that they can have a priest that they hire speak with the dead so they can ask a few questions, get some answers outside of the prying ears and eyes of the City Watch. Vincent over there will undertake trying to identify where Nimblewrights are in the city. How many days do you think that will take, Vincent? 3 or 4 days tops, boss. Okay, well, may I ask how you're going to find them? Vincent just says, "That's what I do, boss." Okay.
Listen, I think he can do it.
Look, we met briefly at your opening, but I do know him by reputation, and I have no doubts. Little more communicative would be nice, but individual's got his method, so very well. Now, about all of these threats, first off, you and Asper is pointing at you, Piety.
Yeah, yeah, me.
Am I to understand correctly that Jarlaxle, who is here to threaten all of you, has killed you once already?
Yeah, that is correct.
Well, I've been doing this for quite some time. I have, in fact, heard several stories of Jarlaxle killing people. This is the first time I've heard it from that individual themselves. Well, I will do my best, and let's all do our best to make sure there's not a second time. How does that sound?
That sounds fucking fantastic. I'd love that.
Well, I don't know, folks. It seems like you are in all of these crosshairs. They all want the same thing. Do you have any plans as to what to do about that?
Find
Well,
it and return it to the city? It's a
doesn't
lot of
really-
dragons, but all of it was embezzled from the construction of Waterdeep. I'm not sure that this really falls under adventurer purview at this point.
I think
Oh,
that's
no,
what we
I'm
all
taking-
want to be able to do.
Yeah, no.
Is, but even if it weren't what we wanted to do, and we wanted to keep even a part of it, us not giving it to any of the factions who have threatened us for it is still pissing off everyone else. We are not buying ourselves protection with any choices we make with it.
Yes, that's my thought is that there are multiple groups who want something that want all of it, really. And no matter who we give it to, like you said, we'll be pissing off the others. And I don't actually think we'll be buying any loyalty from whoever we do give it to. So, frankly, at this point, I'm in the position, or at least it is my position, fuck them all. Fuck all of them. They get nothing.
Mm.
We are not going to be safe no matter what. No matter what choice we make, we will be in crosshairs. So why should any of them get anything?
Well, the Caslanteers can call in their debt anytime they like, so there is that.
You know, I still want to get my brother out of, the fucking fighting pit.
Well, all of that's been fictitious. All of that debt is manufactured to keep you and him
Okay.
under their thumb.
So what
They
do you want
want
me
the
to do?
stone.
I don't.
Well,
I
that's the
don't,
thing,
I
is if we give them the stone, then you and your brother are still in trouble because you're still going to be on the hit list for every other faction. Just because the
Okay,
Zentarum
but
are
I'd
going to
rather
let
have my
him go
brother
doesn't
out.
mean they're
in-
safe.
They're
Do you
not, though.
understand?
They are a group of liars, extorters, kidnappers. Why on earth would they actually live up to their word?
Okay. So what do? Do I just keep him in there? I just say fuck it, fuck him, like as you said, fuck him.
You can't buy his freedom
We
in this
break
case.
him out.
Okay.
We do what we must to rescue him. I'm willing to battle with the Zentarum over this. Even if I suppose we are getting ahead of ourselves. We haven't even found this yet. We don't know with anything that we get from Dalakar will if the city guard has Dalakar's body, then they have his possessions. So even if he confirms everything and confirms that he had the stone with him, we may not be able to get it out of the City Watch. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But at the end of the day, it is my thought, at least, and I could be wrong, but it is my thought that none of these groups have any real reason to live up to their word. None of them have any real reason to, once we have given them the thing they want, give us anything in return. We can certainly try to make that bargain with the Zentarum and see if we can get your brother out from under their thumb. I doubt heavily that they will live up to that word, but we can, if we get to that point, we can certainly, it's certainly worth discussing.
I think you're right that we can't make the decision now because we might not ever be able to make the decision. But I do think we should have a fairly good grasp of what it is we should do, simply in the event we are incredibly lucky, we are able to get the Stone of Galir, and we are likely hotly pursued. If that happens, we should have an idea of where we should take it so it's no longer with us, so that we don't get killed. I, for one, maybe not entirely trusting Force Grey in its fundamental sort of structure so far as it has dismissed the case currently. I think if there's any way that we can convince any of the, well, I suppose technically the Open Lord, if there were any way to convince any of the Masked Lords, that would also be tremendously helpful. Barring that, even the Blackstaff are people that I would trust to understand that we're in danger and could actually do something to protect us and our kind.
At this point, Asper chimes in. What complaint do you have about Force Gray's involvement?
Oh, just that I did try to speak to them pretty directly about what was happening about a week ago, saying that we were in immediate threatened danger from guilds by nature of our existence and rumor, and they thought that was incredibly funny and dismissed me.
Yes, it seems there's a fundamental misunderstanding about what Force Gray does. If you want order, if you feel you personally are under bodily threat, go talk to the City Watch. They're the ones that provide order. They're the ones that enforce the code legal. Force Gray is only concerned with what's best for Waterdeep. And push comes to shove, we don't care quite so much about order. We don't even care so much about the code legal.
I believe at the time I was going in inquiring specifically about information for Xanathar to further protect ourselves and our own interests. And either it were the case that they had no information or just weren't interested in sharing. But that is, we have good members of Force Grey with us tonight. I won't take that for granted.
Well, then, I've made clear to Corsonus what I would do and what Force Gray would like to see happen. He's had contact with a individual from Xanathar's guild that is currently working both sides. Now, we believe that giving this individual and his rogue organization their own budget off the books might go a long way in helping to control Xanathar and steer him in directions we find more palatable. But neither I nor anyone else in Force Grey is in all of these individual crosshairs. And it's easy for me to say that I would recommend giving at least some of the money to Mr. Steeltoes and his organization because I know what they want to do with it. Do you know what these other groups or individuals want to do with the money?
The only thing we've known for certain is that Jarl Axel wants to bargain with the Lords of Waterdeep. Or
Yes, I mean, the good
dragon
news
stuff.
is that's all Jarl Axel ever wants. It's like a broken sending stone. Wants to be part of the Lord's Alliance. I want to be part of the Lord's Alliance.
I think, though, his particular interests and his item of interest is enlightening for the others. Whether or not they're purposefully and deliberately interested in the dragon staff doesn't really matter. Just knowing that one of them would have the access to it is within itself a threat to Waterdeep proper. There isn't a place we can give this stone that isn't effectively to the lords, where it ensures not only our safety but the city's safety.
Mert chimes in. Look, I can't make any promises, but you all have been good folk. You did right by Rainier. You've been honest with Asper and I. And I can tell you're trying to do your best. If things get ugly, I can probably call in a few chips with the Harpers and get you some backup. But,
I'll look at everybody else, kind of judge their reaction.
But I got to be honest with you. I don't know that we've got enough backup to go against all these organizations. If it was me, I'd find one or two of them that I could live with, and if nothing else, pay them off just so they stop targeting you.
Do we pay off more than one if they all want the same thing?
Well, from what I understand, they don't all want the same thing. Sounds like the Castellantiers and the Zentarum want all the gold. Sounds like this Order of the Goldfish from Xanathar's guild that Ott's running, he wants half of the gold. And Jarl Axel, that crazy son of a bitch, said he didn't want any of the gold. He just wanted that dragon staff. So I don't know. I mean, look, and he turns to you, Piety. I can completely understand, under the circumstances, not trusting Jarl Axel. That seems perfectly reasonable, but
I mean, look, I don't like the guy. He freaks me out. But if he ends up being one of the ones that we got to keep around, I think I could live with that. Question mark.
I prefer him.
All right. Sounds like we have a big enough potential thread to try to make everyone a little happy, and hope they don't kill us, at least for now. It's better than where we were this morning, which was no plan and screaming.
Now, hear me out. Is there any merit to just taking the whatchamacallit and absconding and just being like, I mean, it's not like the Zentarum are everywhere.
Oh, most of their work comes from protecting the roads, and I'll quote, they kind of are everywhere, actually.
Everywhere there's roads, it sounds like.
That's
Where we're going,
true.
we don't need roads.
Fair point. I think that we shouldn't take that one off the table, potentially.
I mean, what's so valuable about this rock anyways? Is it just a cool rock? Because if so, I mean, that's dope. But, like, does it do things?
Yeah,
Or-
that's actually a question I've had. What the fuck does it do? Why do we care? Why is it?
It
Take-
gives access
my
to the
God.
500,000 dragons.
You know,
All
I
the
can
money that
see them.
that Lord Neverember embezzled.
Wait, dragons are money?
You thought there was 500,000 dragons just hanging out somewhere?
Yes!
Oh,
I wasn't gonna ask. That didn't seem like my business, but yeah. Even whenever you just said it just now, I was like, wait, this rock summons 5,000 dragons?
Be sick.
That's
Be
crazy.
pretty cool.
500,000, not
That's
5,000.
That's okay.
That'd be a lot of dragons.
Whew.
Are you relieved?
That no one's gonna summon 500,000 dragons? Yeah. Yeah, I am a little bit.
That's fair. Actually, that's fair. Yes.
Was this a point of confusion for Tyler?
I
Curious.
honestly thought Ted had like some information about 500,000 literal fire-breathing dragons, and I didn't know what that was and assumed I had just missed something.
what's the Waterdeep
A
population
portal
on
opens
dragon?
up in the corner of the inn, and everyone needs to roll for initiative.
No.
You hear the flapping of 500,000 wings.
That would be 1 million wings.
Right.
I'd say
Chris.
good. Only half the dragons are here right now.
No, the other half are just far enough back you can't hear them yet.
Oh my fucking god.
The other half are walking.
Give them a minute. Calm.
They'll be here by round 2.
I think we stand a chance, guys. I think this looks good in our favor.
Okay. So the hoard consists of 500,000 gold pieces and magical items, including the dragon staff, which is the object that prevents dragons from entering Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Just so everyone's on the same page.
Just a little correction.
Okay.
The dragon staff isn't what prevents dragons from getting into Waterdeep. The dragon
Oh.
staff, right? It
Allows you to
allows
break that.
allows dragons
Yeah.
to get around that prohibition.
Yeah. The magic force field on Waterdeep that keeps dragons from coming in, but the staff allows dragons passage.
Okay, but this is actually dragon.
This one is real dragons, yes.
Right.
I can see why there was confusion. Okay. Just so we're so I understand how we're all feeling table wise. Mert suggested the possibility of us using the horde as we find it, if we find it, to give enough of each faction enough of what they want so they lay off. That is an answer. There's also the potential to try to get like giving the stone to any one of these factions is an option. There's also the option of seeing if we can deliver the stone to someone of higher both magical and political authority, so it's out of our hands, and rely on the Harpers and potentially any allies we make along that path for protection. Does anyone have strong feelings about these options?
At this point, I am pretty much in get to the dragons and then figure out what to do with them when we have them. Get to the gold coins and then figure out to do with them when we have them.
Summon the dragon.
That is my thinking, at least.
Okay.
Well, this seems like a lovely place to take our 15-minute break, and we can continue to have this conversation through the break. If you've got questions for me that you want to ask sort of above table or try and clear some things up, just let me know.
You've done a
rejoin our impromptu meeting at the Haunt in Troll Skull Alley. We will say that it is winding down, but has not completely wound down, so that if any other questions or topics occur to people, we've still got some time to deal with that. And actually, I think just before we get into that, let me extend the offer to all of you. If you have any questions you would like to ask above table, let's get that taken care of before we dive back in. So does anyone have any of those questions they'd like to cover? Going once, going twice. Wonderful. And let's move on back to in character as our meeting winds down. Anything else anyone would like to ask, would like to cover? Is everybody on board with what the immediate sort of plan is?
Immediate plan being get a hold of Dalakar's body, figure out where the stone is either stashed, or if it was on his body, figure out where it was that the city guard have it, and then figure out how that gets us to the monetary dragons. And then once we get there, figure out what our plan for actually dispensing with them is.
Now,
have I summarized
are
our
we
plan
robbing
correctly?
the corpse from the city guard? Is that our next plan, or is someone else doing that for us?
The members of Force Grey that are here have said that they will get a hold of that for us, I believe.
Yeah, they'll pave our way a little.
Yeah, Mert has let it be known that he will get in touch with you tomorrow, one way or the other. But he is going to try, and he and Asper are both going to pull some strings and try and get you unsupervised access to not just the gnome's body, but to all of the bodies. There were 11 deaths, right? So just basically trying to get you into the City Watch's morgue unsupervised, so that you can have a cleric that you all hire perform, or clerics, as the case may be, perform Speak with Dead, so that you can ask whomever whatever questions you would like.
Right. Now, are we concerned if is the city guard going to be chill about this, or are they going to be like, oh shit, someone interrogated this guy and now we can't do it? I bet it was those scoundrels that were asking to sit in on a interrogation. Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, I see what you're asking, and they will almost certainly expect that it was us. I have zero doubts that the City Watch will be upset about this. Speaking for myself only, I don't care.
I mean,
they could have just agreed to let us do it with them earlier, and they didn't. So
right? Yeah, absolutely right. They do know where we live. I'm happy to throw down if they come here, but I just think we should be prepared.
I am fascinated by how you think law and order are executed in this city.
I mean, theoretically, they will not be able to prove that we had anything to do with it, because we will not be having anything to do with it.
Wait, I thought
understand my friends here at Force Grey. They will be making sure that the body is put into our hands. They will not be able to prove that we had anything to do with its disappearance at the very least, because, well, we're not having anything to do with its disappearance. If that makes sense.
Would we be responsible for hiring a priest? Do we need to handle doing that?
That is what Mert has indicated, yes.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. It's getting late, so it would probably be best if we went and put out feelers for some assistance in that department, in the morning? Question mark. How we feel about that?
Yeah, I think a night's rest is perhaps called for here.
Yeah.
And there are churches aplenty we can ask. So at least have a lot of ground we can cover. And plenty of time for ejection.
Very well. It sounds like this impromptu meeting will wrap up and people will slowly wander out and off. Vincent just at some point did a straight up Irish goodbye and just isn't there.
Excellent.
Okay.
Asper and Mert wish everybody the best. Mert promises that he'll get word as early as he knows it. As they're walking out, Mert, you can overhear Mert. Not like he's trying to be secretive about it, but you overhear him saying to Asper, "Can you believe these sweet people thought that they'd get help with a problem like this from the city guard?" And Asper just says, "Oh, now, be nice, Mert. Idealism has its place." Another round of bear hugs from Brisket. I'm just so happy you guys are all right. I heard about the big explosion, and I figured nothing was wrong, but then my imagination started running away with me, and I couldn't eat. I got so worried I couldn't eat anything, so I had to come down. It's great. I'm so happy. I mean, I'm sorry about all this other nonsense, but I'm happy you're all right. Let me know if you need anything. And he's off. And fella who's been here this whole time is just says, "Oh, well, I'll be sure to fill in everyone else on the alley. They'll likely have concerns and questions, but it's nice to know that our fellow tradesmen so intricately involved in the investigation. Please do what you can to keep the alley safe, will you? Thank you. And they are off. And then it's just Walaya who gives, a pleasant good night to everyone. Nim, as they are walking out, they put a firm hand like in the small of your back, and it's not a suggestion. They are sort of pushing you out the front door so that they can have a quick private word with you, which is simply, when something dangerous like this happens, I'm the first person you contact. Do you understand?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, the only family we have is each other.
Yeah.
Very well.
Keep them
Sounds like
safe.
I will. Sounds like you and your friends have really stepped in it.
Yeah.
Be sure your next step is out of it as opposed to further in.
I'm trying.
And wonderful. She gives you a big embrace, kiss on the forehead, and is strolling off into the dark of night like a woman without a care in the world. Anything anyone would like to do before nighttime?
I'm gonna get drunk, I think. It's been a very long day and it's been exhausting.
Wonderful.
And I'll have a few hours before I actually need to take a long rest anyway, so
Okay. Look, that is easy enough to do in your current location.
yup.
Who all's staying up drinking?
Woo!
I'm certainly not one to turn it down.
Yeah, Corsonas will stay up for a bit.
Would anyone like to engage in any meaningful conversation or serious conversation, or just have any topics that they want to cover? Or is this just general blown off steam, throwing dartboards up at the dartboard on the ceiling?
Heidi, I know you have said you're not you don't want to be called your old name. Would you be interested in seeing what we can dig up about who you were, in case there's anything you feel compelled to, I don't know, finish, resolve, make amends for? I mean, you have. We still haven't really answered the question of who prayed enough to bring you back.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm interested in. I mean, I would like to know about who I was, because I don't think I want to be like that again, and I worry all the time that I'm falling into old patterns I don't even know I have. I want to know.
I mean, we could ask around. I could ask with Force Grey, or we could ask with the guard. It sounds like, given that you were, sorry if this is insensitive, but it sounds like you were killed trying to steal from Jarlaxle. Maybe there is some. There was some tied to criminal activity in your past, and maybe the guard or Force Grey might know something.
Yeah,
The
I'd
guard
say
is
yeah,
probably more likely, yes.
yeah. But also, like, I don't know, could I get legally pursued for old crimes? Like, how does that work? Because it's not me, but like, yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, sure, yeah, you don't remember. Very cool story. Anyway, like, ugh.
Gosh.
Maybe
Not
Force
being
Grey
a
first.
Sure, yeah. I can. I can't use my. I can't call headquarters, but I could go there. It's a little late, but I could call them in the morning or go there in the morning.
Thank you, Corsonis.
Hmm.
I'll tag along with you, of course. So wake me up if you go.
Wake you up.
You know what I mean,
Before you
dickhead.
go.
Tyler, take a point of inspiration, please. Anyone else? Any topics to discuss? All right. So we're all calling it a night. Wonderful. I don't think, well, actually, I think Kaz took a point or two of damage from a flying mechanical bird. So, long rest for everybody.
Oh, slow.
Yeah, Exidia, you can choose your spells, although not so fast. Potentially for Corsonis. I mean, I can't believe what just happened. Talk about Kismet. Corsonis, can you explain to me a little bit about how your mind link ability works and again what your plan was in terms of keeping an eye on Piety while she sleeps?
Oh no.
Let me see if I can find it. It's under class features, racial features, mind link.
Okay, so it's basically just straight up telepathy, and you are trying to have your bat notify you when something weird is going on so that you can then try and establish this telepathic link. Is that, am I
Correct.
understanding the process correctly?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
Which is probably not actually going to work in the long run because it's not like detect thoughts. This just lets me speak to people.
Right.
And why would I take such a useful spell in a social campaign
Right.
as a wizard?
Here's what we're going to do, because Piety, you do not have a very restful meditative time, or your time in the tub just staring up through the water. You, as you lay back down into the water, as you do on most evenings, this evening, as soon as you sort of fall back or lie back into the water, as you do, the water gets darker and darker and darker until not only does it go completely black, but you once again feel water rushing down your throat, and you have that sensation again of drowning, which at this point, like intellectually, you know, isn't really a thing since you don't breathe anymore, right? But for some reason, maybe it's the unnatural dark that has settled over you. But for some reason this evening, it reminds you viscerally of the time you actually did drown. And as you sort of shoot up, gasping for air you no longer breathe, as you break the surface of the water, the lights snap back on again, and although, well, what you see is yourself sitting in what could best be described as an office cubicle. And you are
no.
waiting as you see a little fairy that's flying in the air with its back to you. Right. And just plumes of smoke like rising, you know. It's just, well, 1 minute, honey. Meanwhile, Corsonus, your bat just sees Piety slide into the tub and then shoot up into a seated position, just staring straight ahead. And it flies to you following instructions like something's up. Technically speaking, right, I think that Mind Link would not work, right? Particularly because Piety's not going to be able to speak to you, but also because just in order to give them telepathy, they have to be able to see you. To use this ability, the creature must be able to see you and must be within the trait's range. And currently, they can't see you. However, I do like the idea so much, right, that if you roll me a 19 or 20 on just an unmodified D20, son of a bitch. All right, here we go. Right?
Let's fucking go.
Right. You
There goes my luck for the next month.
right. You are unable, right, to see anything that Nim is seeing, right? However, you can hear what she is saying as if she were talking to you. And yeah, we'll say you can basically make out what questions are being asked, but you've got other than the soundtrack, you have no idea what is going on. Great. Katie, I will ask you at this point, do you feel like this is information that you would definitely share with everyone, right? Or do you think that that depends on what the contents of this vision show? And just to be clear, the reason I'm asking is because if you're like, oh yeah, I just share this with everybody, then we'll just stay here. There's no reason to, go anywhere. But if you're like, I don't know, if they reveal, there are some things I could imagine that would be revealed to me that I'm not going to want to tell everybody, right? Then we'll go into the whisper chat so that not everyone will be privy and you can choose what you want to share.
On one hand, Spidey's probably gonna tell people. On the other hand, I think I've only been in whisper chat with somebody like once. I want whisper chat. No,
All
I
right,
don't.
here
It's
we go.
fine. We can stay.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? we've already established wherever you go, Corsonis is going. Right? Corsonis is locked. He rolled his 19, so he's locked
Hell
in.
yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do whisper chat just for the fun. Just for the fun of it.
Okay. Here we go. Hold tight, everybody. in there, everybody.
No worries.
It is the next morning.
Okay.
Everybody getting up early. What's the plan here?
Yo.
Last time I woke up early, it didn't pay off. I'm not in a rush. But eventually, yes.
About 9:30 in the morning, there's a pretty, it's light, but it's pretty rapid knocking at the front door to the manor, to the bar, really, not the private areas.
I think it's Exidia's turn to welcome in strangers.
I mean, if you say so. I'll go and open the door.
Like a 15-year-old kid, acne, like just brown, leather pants and a brown overcoat with a green scarf, green hat.
Hey, this is a bar, so probably a little young for that, I think.
Yeah, I know. Bert the moneylender said I should deliver you this. And he's holding out a piece of folded paper with a wax seal on it.
Oh, goody. Well, thank you. Care for a pint? You know, like in the
Exidia.
tip? What? I've heard you're supposed to give people things for bringing you
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh boy, would I! He rubs his hands together and walks straight to the bar.
I head behind the bar and
Oh,
pour him a drink.
in most cases, I would not give too much of a fuck about this, but god damn it, I gotta be good. Exidia, please.
This is the best day ever. And he
What if
grabs
this
the
is
mug
the
with
thing
two
we get
hands.
arrested for? Out of everything else that's happened, what if this is the thing that gets us arrested?
You know what? Fuck it. Give me one too. God damn it.
Great. 9:30 in the morning. Start drinking.
Hell yeah.
Corsolis will stare at Piety with a very
All right.
disappointed.
All right. Exidia, stop it. Stop. You're not giving a kid alcohol.
Oh, that's okay.
got
I'll
other
finish that
shit.
one, ma'am. And he reaches for your mug, Piety.
Hey, whoa. Hey now. I need this so bad. You have no idea.
Oh, my apologies.
Look, you shouldn't be drinking, especially not this early in the morning. If you're gonna, just go somewhere else. Please, don't make it my problem.
If you say so. And he grabs the mug and tries to walk out with it.
No, not with our alcohol, please.
All right, just 1 second.
Yep, saw that one coming. All right, I tried. Corsonis, you saw I tried, right?
Yep.
All right.
You are, I'm sure, off the hook.
I'm sure how they'll see it. God.
What time do you guys open?
I don't know, what time do we fucking open, guys?
We're closed, and I'm gonna push this kid out the door.
Okay, fantastic. Great.
Can't have this kid bringing back his high school friends in a couple of hours. You fucking kidding me?
And that was definitely what was going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I tried it.
Yeah. All right. Exidia, you've got this piece of paper from Mert. I presume you are opening it or handing it off to somebody? Or are you just dumping it in the trash, being like, fuck it, we're drinking. This is great.
Why did they give me paper? Does anyone want some paper?
I think I'm sitting like right in front of you right now at the bar, so I will take it. I will open said paper and read it.
2 to 3 p.m., City Watch Morgue. You'll have them all to yourself. Bring a priest.
Oh shit. Guys, we gotta find a fucking cleric or something.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah,
We-
they're letting us interview the dead guy.
Like today? What time?
Did it say, what did it say? 3 p.m?
2 to 3.
2 p.m? 2 to
2
3
to 3.
p.m.
You've got
Fuck.
1 hour.
Yep. Hour.
Okay. Let me grab my shit. And then I'm hitting the bricks, and I'm gonna look for someone who would help.
Okay.
And I'll be
What is the-
careful about how I frame this.
Okay.
Hear me out before we go traipsing around to every temple in Waterdeep. Piety, what do you think about trying to find a priest of... we're trying to narrow down your search while we do this.
I mean, if we think we have time, sure, fuck it. I mean, we literally we have so little to go on.
I mean, we could start with some of the sea gods of the sea.
Yeah. What? Okay, so we know that this god is masculine, question mark. Him, the big man. So that narrows it down, I guess. At least I think that's what she said. We're running with it. Fuck it.
Did something
And-
happen?
Yeah, I had another dream last night. Like I'd get drowned, then yelled at. Not yelled at. I'm not complaining, but the source of my powers contacted me again, or at least one of the people that work for him. I don't know what the deal is. Basically, I have to be good or else I get my powers taken, and probably worst case scenario, just drop dead. I'm apparently not doing a good job of it.
Well, that's disheartening. I thought you were doing just fine.
I thought I was too. I mean, I get it. Like, I fuck off and like we have a good time here, but like, you know,
But you
I don't know.
did give a teenager a beer.
I tried to avoid it. That's why. God damn it. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Listen, if I, suddenly die of cardiac arrest or something in the next couple of days, that probably did it. But yeah, we know that in my past life, I apparently gave. So all that money I stole from Jarlaxle, I apparently donated to an orphanage. So like, good for Lydia, I guess. Great, wonderful fucking job. And
That's
like
crazy.
apparently I was like kind of a good person in a weird way, I guess, but also not. It seems like, I don't know. Anyway, we're trying to find who prayed me back to life, and now we know that it's a she. So that kind of narrows it down to something. Yeah, I had a bad night. I had a real, yep.
Okay. We could begin looking into sea lords I know there's the temple to the Beach Queen on the south side of town, but that doesn't sound like that fits the bill at all. So,
Yeah.
other than that, I'm a little at loss.
Okay, yeah, then perhaps we should just. I know nothing about the gods. Maybe we should just go with whatever's closest.
I was just gonna start walking down streets and popping my head into chapels and asking if anyone could help us with speaking with the dead in an
I'm all for
emergency.
it. All for it.
Okay. So the plan is, I mean, there's temples all over the place, and particularly you, Nim, right, are from Waterdeep for all intents and purposes. So you have no problem locating places where there will be clerics and priests and whatnot. And the plan is just to pop in, get somebody's attention who's working there, and asking if they or someone they know can cast Speak with Dead.
Yeah, I think I'm going to frame it in this is urgent, it needs to be done today, and only when I get like a promising inclination do I say someone attacked us and this victim might know more about it. And that's like where I'll frame it so that they know that they're kind of getting. I don't want to bring someone in who is woefully unprepared for what could be a very dangerous or terrifying thing. But I also don't want to freak anyone out such that we are having to deal with cops again.
Mm-hmm. Roll me a D8. Yeah, in a half hour, like within the first half hour looking,
Oh.
yeah, it's like the second temple you go into, and you're like halfway through your explanation of what the situation is and what's going on, and this cleric just puts his hand up. 50 gold.
I'll give him 5 platinum, but I will look at everyone else and say that's the last of my change.
I have money. I don't think I've even had that much.
Really? I mean, you guys made some pretty fat cash.
Yeah, Ted, we've been over this.
Have we?
Yeah.
Did I use it on something after that? I feel like
No,
what-
you
know
just
what? We'll
probably
just-
didn't write it down.
Do you just need one of us?
We've never done this before. Is there if we have 2, can we get more questions? Or is it just 1?
Well, no,
Well,
I mean,
I mean, there are so many bodies, like we'd be able to ask more than one person.
That's true. I only have enough money to pay for 1 person.
I mean, here's the way it works. You get 5 questions per person. I can do 2 people.
Okay. You want more than 2?
Um, hmm.
How about this?
I mean, we know that. Sorry, go ahead.
Sounds like you guys are confused. How about we bring a friend, if you've only got 2 people to ask questions to, then the 5 platinum donation that you've made will be more than enough. However, if my friend also has to ask questions, you'll make another donation of 5 platinum.
That's good. That's good.
Very well. And he just looks over his shoulder, and his voice is elevated. It's not like he's screaming, but he's like, Valmir, got a job to do. How long is this going to take?
No more than an hour. Plus
And
travel.
Are we going right now? It's 10:30 right now.
In about 4 hours.
How's this sound? You guys swing by here when you're ready to go. We'll make sure our afternoon is clear so that we can go with you.
Perfect.
Name's Kilrose. Extends his hand.
Yeah, I'll shake it. I'll give him my name. Kilrose. And where did we, if it matters, where did we find this guy?
I will come up with a name for a temple shortly.
Okay.
I want to look one up as opposed to just making up some nonsense.
All right. Not super important. I just wanted to know if I rolled into like a Scriveners of Doom cult here or something. That was.
No, I mean, I'm intentionally gonna find something non-denominational. I know there's
Okay.
a couple of those in Waterdeep. And
Yes.
just FYI, both Valmir and Kilros, tieflings.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Can these guys be the heroes? They sound very cool.
I mean, their names sound like Val Kilmer, so pretty cool.
As you're leaving, you hear Kilros say to Valmir, I feel the need for speed. All right. Anything you all like to do or discuss or investigate in the couple hours you have before you've got to pick these 2 individuals up and head out for a little talking with the dead?
Shall we look for orphanages, or do you want to wait till this is all done first?
Piety, I feel like that's a question
Yep.
directed
Huh?
exactly at you.
Sorry, I'm zoning out. This is Katie. What was the question?
We have a few hours. Do you want to try to hunt down orphanages now, or would you rather wait till all of this questioning business is over?
I mean, if we've got the time, let's rip the fucking band-aid off. Why not?
We could really use your help, Nim, getting there quickly.
Sure. I hire orphans all the time.
You did hear the part where we're trying to help Piety do good, right?
Yes. Hey, what do you think I hire them to do?
I don't know. That's just why I'm saying
Errands.
that.
I'm doing good. Fucking hell. I'm saying I know where we can look.
Okay. Katie, roll
Yes.
me a d20.
Oh boy. Dink. Oh god.
Fuck.
I put too much into that dink.
Okay.
I die. That's what that means.
Okay, what are you asking when you? I mean, Nim takes you to an orphanage pretty quickly. What are you asking when you show up there?
Oh god. Corsonas, come with me.
You
Hi.
could just ask them
Well,
if they've received a large donation in the past few months.
I'll find the
If you look
first.
familiar.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll find whoever's like, if there's like a front desk-ish area or anything, like if there's anybody around.
customer
who's
service.
yeah, exactly. Help desk. If anybody around who looks like they work there, I'll just be like, hey, real quick, couple questions. First of all, have y'all received like a large sum of money within the last, I don't know, 2 years?
Well, we receive lots of large sums of money. We're affiliated with the non-denominational temple up the street. They carve out a bit of their coin, which is substantial, and fill our coffers regularly.
Excellent. Anything from like an individual at any point?
Nothing that I would call substantial. No.
I'll look at Corsonas and kind of shrug, like, I don't think this is it.
Did you ask if you look familiar? Does anybody there?
Oh yeah. This is a weird question. I get that. Do I have you seen me here before? Do I look familiar at all? Can I go around and ask other people if I look familiar?
So any details you could give them about the person you were giving that you made the donation for? Again, I only heard half the conversation, so I don't know.
I don't really know a lot myself.
No, you may not look around, but I will. I don't recognize you. I will ask, Marius. Marius, come over here, please. This individual. What is your name?
Piety, you might know me as Lydia.
This Piety Lydia wants to know if you recognize her. If any of us recognize her? Marius looks you up and down and is like, no, I don't. Oh.
Oh.
Do you live in the Dark Ward, for chance?
Yes.
This might be an indelicate question, but are you that unfortunate soul that doesn't breathe?
Oh my god. Yeah, that's me.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, I've never seen you before, but my sister does charity work down there and has heard tales of you. I never thought that I would. Please, have a seat. Is there anything I can do for you?
I'm sorry. Is the rumor about me that like went around that I can't breathe? Is that really what people talk about? God.
I'm terribly sorry, but you did
No,
ask if.
that's incredibly funny. You're fine. This is just not what I expected.
Well, I'm sorry. I couldn't have been more help, and I'm terribly sorry if I embarrassed or upset you. My
You are
apologies.
No, do not. Don't you dare. That you are fine. I appreciate all your help. This has been actually very useful. Yeah, that's all we needed, I think. Corsonis? Anything else you think would be good?
Not. Wait, the child isn't here. Is it a different orphanage? Did I mishear that?
Yeah, I don't think this is the one.
Mm. Yeah, no, this sounds like we have a pretty definite place to go.
Perfect. All right. We will get out of your hair. Have a great day. Thank you so much. See ya.
Here is a small donation for your troubles, and I will put
Aw.
10 gold pieces down.
Aw.
Oh, very kind. Have a wonderful day. And let's say we call it there and pick up with some Talking to the Dead in 2 weeks. How does everybody feel about that?
Woo!
Woo!